Hello, 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 and welcome to iShine Podcast. I am your host, A Love, Angela Lewis. I'm so happy to be here because you guys know when we come on for the iShine Podcast, we are bringing people on who are out here shining. That's right. So I want you guys to make sure you go ahead, tag a few people, let them know that we are here. We are getting ready to talk to some amazing people who are out here. Being authors, doing what they do, sharing their stories, giving inspiration. And we have, I keep on wanting to say the cast, but it is a cast to a certain extent. They're the cast of an anthology. They are the visionary authors. So I'm going to bring her up, Miss Valerie C. Thompson. Hi, Valerie. How are you?
Hello, Angela. I am well. How are you?
Fantastic, fantastic. Let me bring on a co-author, Miss Trina Jackson. Hi, Trina. How are you? Good to see you.
Hi, everybody. Sorry about that. Hi.
Good to see you. And then let me bring on Miss Lisa Trinell. Lisa, how are you? You're on mute.
I'm fine.
Fantastic, fantastic. So just to let you all know, there are a few more co-authors, so we're hoping that they will be able to pop in throughout the broadcast. But until then, we have these beautiful ladies here. And so again, this is from trauma to drama, from trauma and drama to truth. And everybody knows we all have dealt with some trauma and some drama in our lives. If you have not, then that means that you must be one of the luckiest people on the planet, because I don't think I know of anybody who has not experienced some aspect of it. So before we get started, I want each one of the ladies to kind of share a little bit about who they are, where they're from, and what they think about being an author in this anthology. So we'll start with the visionary. Valerie, can you share a little bit about yourself, please, ma'am?
Yes. Thank you. Hello. My name is Valerie C. Thompson. I was created to encourage, inspire, and uplift. I live in Vallejo, California on the West Coast. And the reason that I believe God gave me the vision for this book, From Trauma and Drama to Truth, is because I experienced childhood trauma, which turned into adult drama. So on the journey, I had to take the necessary steps to heal. And I believe that as women, when we look inward and take those steps to heal, we become so powerful. And I know that we were all created to move in purpose, on purpose for God's huge purpose. So when God gave me the vision, I reached out to a few ladies that I know and asked them if they would love to be part of this journey.
That's awesome. It's awesome. And I tell you, we'll pause a little bit here just to kind of speak about being a visionary author. For so many people, God has given them amazing thoughts, and ideas on how to put some things together that is going to be a blessing and a benefit to the people who are going to be reading this. And I truly believe that when you talk about being an author, so many people have stories. So many people have, experienced things in life that although they went through it, maybe the lesson was for someone else. And so I applaud you for taking, the prompting from God to be able to reach out to people who also shared a similar story, also shared some things they wanted to put out there that could make an impact on people who read it. So I'm going to go next to Trina Jackson. Trina, can you please introduce yourself and let the people know where you're from and a little bit about maybe why you decided to participate in this anthology project?
Hi, my name is Trina Jackson, and I live in the Bay Area. The reason why I want to be a part of the book is because I went through childhood trauma, and I want to see people set free, healed, and delivered. So that's the reason why I want to participate in the book. Thank you so much, Angela.
Absolutely. And thank you again for that piece of it. I tell you, again, when you go through childhood drama, when you go through trauma, those things are, it's not a respect of person. People tend to experience certain things, and as you go through them, you get life lessons, you get things that help you along the way to learn how to cope, and so extremely glad that we had an opportunity to have you as part of this project, and I'm looking forward to people reading what you have to say. So now I'm going to move on to Lisa Trinell. Lisa, same thing, ma'am. Tell the people who you are.
Okay. Hi, I'm Lisa Chanel, and I'm here in the San Francisco Bay Area. I was born and raised in the Oakland area. Like the other ladies, I've experienced significant trauma from childhood to my teen years to my young adult years, even up into my full adult years. Um, when Valerie asked me to do this, I've always had wanted to tell my story, but I just didn't really know how to tell my story. And it came at the perfect time because I've gotten far enough from it to whereas I feel comfortable enough to share my story with someone else where they could benefit from it. I've been through a lot. I've experienced significant trauma in my life, and I still have been able to be a productive member of society. So I think me telling my story will be able to help someone that's going through it or that went through it to be able to move on from it and just live their lives in a productive manner.
Awesome, awesome. I love that about moving on and being able to live your life in a productive manner. So I'm going to take a pause while we're all right here before I move on to Mr. Santana and just let you all know, ladies, I know that so many people in your group of family members and friends are wanting to see you on this broadcast tonight. So if you have not, take the time out to share it to your platform so people are able to hear what you have to say. I know they are anxiously waiting to support you and see this. So hopefully you will see the broadcast. If you would, Valerie, tag everybody in it so that way they are able to have their friends and family members see and listen to what they are saying on the broadcast. Matthew Santana Jr., how are you, sir?
I'm doing well. Angela Lewis, how are you?
Fantastic, fantastic. If you would, sir, just introduce yourself as well and let the people know where you are calling from and then, of course, why you want to be a part of this project.
All right, I am calling from Nashville, Tennessee. I am Matthew Santana, the master of all trades, the world's healer. Everything I touch turns to gold. Everything I touch is blessed. I am a co-author of this book, and I'm so honored for Valerie reaching out and letting me be a part of it because it means so much, and it helps me spread my message and help heal those that's been through something that I've been through. So everything that I've been through wasn't for me; it was for somebody else, and now I have to let that out and share it with the world and help other people heal. Because I am now healed, I am whole, and I am not broken.
All right, come on and be whole and not broken. That is the goal. That is the goal. When we talk about, going through trauma and drama, for so many people, it is a broken state that you're in. And so we want to be able to, through books, really share with people ways to help you to overcome being in these type of situations so that you can come out and live life to the fullest. Because, of course, if you believe in God, you know that he sent his son Jesus that we may have abundant living, not to be broken, but to be set free, to be healed and whole. And so that is the goal for everyone who is reading this, to take something from each one of the stories and apply it to your life to become better. So Valerie, let's dig a little bit deeper. When you're talking about trauma and drama, what would you want to tell the people, not without having to talk about your chapter specifically, but what is something that you want to share about the process of going from trauma and drama to truth?
Wow. Great question. So without sharing too much, just so recognizing when we experience drama as an adult, for instance, right? Some of us have been in toxic relationships and we may not understand why. So I recall being in one and really having to do the work as far as going backwards and thinking, why am I experiencing this? And what God revealed to me at that time was the childhood trauma. And normally when we go through childhood trauma, we suppress it, so we forget about it. until it just comes up one day, depending on, what you've been through. So for me, God showed me about repeating the cycle that was in my family. And I knew immediately, well, not immediately, but I knew that I had to stop that cycle, that generational curse, that generational stronghold that perhaps my parents, that I was going through, that I did not want to pass down to my children. And so it immediately propelled me to go on this journey of self-discovery and self-awareness and self-love. And once I started that journey, it was promoting healing within. You have to go within. And for me, I realized, okay, it's not just me. There were so many women that God began to put in my path that had experienced some of the same thing, if not the same thing, pretty close. And so just taking the time out to heal. So I've always journaled. And for me, so that's writing. So journaling really helped me free myself as far as walking in forgiveness, forgiving myself, forgiving my parents, forgiving people that I'd been involved with in situationships. And it just showed me how to truly get closer to God, because that's the truth. I believe that anything we experience is an opportunity to get closer to God. And so again, when God began to put people in my path that had experienced the same thing, that's the one thing I always say: go inward, pray, write, seek God, and understand that every trial and tribulation comes to us to make us stronger. It comes to us to give us perseverance. But as we've all shared before, it's not for us, it's for others. If I can make it through, anybody can make it through.
Amen. Amen to that. Thank you so much for sharing that perspective. Sharina, now, is this your first time as an author, or have you written before?
This is my first time.
Okay, all right. Well, congratulations to you. Absolutely. I think it's an amazing thing when you have an opportunity to put author beside your name. So what do you think? What was your experience by getting a part of this anthology?
My experience?
Yes.
I can tell you it was hard. I had to really think hard on what to say and to put in the book. That's all I can say. So I really depend on God. I said, God, you got to help me. Give me the words to say to your people. Because when people pick up this book, I want them to read it. I really want to be set free from the bondage of trauma. So I really had to rely on God to help me. So I'm so excited to be part of the book. Very excited.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. Glad to hear it. Glad to hear it. Now, Lisa, for you, I know that are you a first-time author, or is this a repeat project for you?
First time, very first time.
Okay, all right. So tell us about your experience.
It was therapy for me.
Okay.
I had to unlock a lot of thoughts that I had locked far, far away. So it was very therapeutic for me. It led me to it led me to a lot of healing though. And it led me to see why I had operated in such a way that I had operated for so many years, and why I got into the situationships, why I got into the relationships, why I allowed certain things to go on. It all went back to my childhood. It all was a pattern. And even writing it, and then when I read it over, I'm like, it is very clear. It's just a very clear pattern. You can just see exactly, how I got there, how I got into all those situations. And so it gave me a clear path to start my healing process. I knew there was healing that I needed to do, but I just didn't know what I needed to heal from and how to go about it. And so it was very therapeutic for me.
That's amazing. And I'm glad you shared that, because I believe that for a lot of people, they don't understand how writing can be therapeutic. But as you try and transfer what's in your head to a piece of paper, it gives you the opportunity to revisit it, but at the same time, see it when it's not as fresh. And so
Right.
when you're able to kind of step back and look at it, it gives you a chance to experience emotions again, but in a more controlled environment so that you can actually heal as you are being able to put your thoughts on paper. So I love it. I love it. And I'm so glad that each one of you, really were able to be transparent. We're able to be authentically you and put your thoughts down for people to be able to read and understand that this is something that for somebody is going to be a game changer. It's going to be life saving because you're saying some things that will help them while they're in their current situation, or even to heal, even if it's been years from when they experienced it. So, Matthew Santana, you are the gentleman in the group. Tell us about the experience. Tell us what you think about from trauma and drama to truth.
Working with a bunch of women, it's where it's at.
Good answer.
I
Good
love
answer.
it. I love it. You just felt the love. You felt the connection, the bond. All of the women, reading their stories, going through what they went through, learning how to heal. It just felt, that I grew closer to them without even knowing them. So it's very deep. It's very real, and you just never know what somebody has went through, what they're currently going through, opening, without them opening their mouths. Just reading those chapters and connecting with them, it took it on a different level. I don't have to know you to know you. Your story is not my story, but let me tell y'all, but y'all made it through. We made it through. And I'm glad each one of you all, was bold enough to rise up against all those hurt, those past, and put your story on paper for the next woman, the next man to read and learn how to heal and let go of that past. This is the year of release. We're releasing every negative thing that is against us. We letting that past go. We letting that hurt go. All those negative emotions, we just letting it go and it's released. I want everybody to say released. Let that
Release.
trauma, that drama
Release.
go. It is
Release.
released. You are healed and whole.
Yes.
You have to rise up and believe in yourself because I know that I did it. You can do it as well. Just trust and believe in yourself and know that God is with you every step of the way because He has already written it. So this journey was just so special to me, and just working with all these women just makes me want to just keep on going, keep on striving, keep on helping other people. And I thank you all for letting this journey. I'm lucky, I'm blessed, and I'm happy and whole. And I thank you all.
I am so glad. Thank you so much, Matthew, because a lot of times when people talk about from trauma and drama, a lot of times it's the women who are the ones who want to come up and speak about it. But Matthew made a good point. It's not just women who experience trauma, who have trauma, and we have to be very cognizant of it. I see a few people saying big ups to you all for sharing. Thank you so much for that. Thank you so much. Big ups to all of you for sharing. This is wonderful. Somebody else says, yes, healed, whole, and complete. Oh, I love that. Healed, whole, and complete. So, Valerie, when we talk about, the things that happen to you when you're younger that can come out in adulthood, what do you tell people about transitioning so that they can see it for what it is now, so that they can really achieve that healing and become whole and complete?
So when you recognize, again, when you go through childhood trauma, depending on the severity of it, you suppress it. You don't even remember it until something triggers it. Perfect example for me, I just remember, I think I was about 18 or 19 and sitting on my friend's couch. And all of a sudden, this memory came up. And I said, oh my gosh. So the memory came up. I was sitting on the couch. So when the memory came up, I don't remember really doing anything with it. But as I grew as a young adult, I realized because I remembered what happened to me, it was a reflection of my relationships or situationships, meaning you wonder you argue with everyone, or you're angry, or your self-esteem is low. Whatever that is that you've been going through, that you've been dealing with, it usually traces back to your childhood. So for me, and for anyone, when you recognize it, dealing with it, even though it hurts, because there may be people you have to confront. There's some reality, there's some truth that doesn't feel good, but you have to confront it. You have to deal with it. Otherwise, you stay stuck. Sometimes, there was an author, I think it was Ian Levant, said one of her books, and I remember she said she kept walking in the same hole. You try to walk around the hole, but you keep walking in the same hole. So if you don't take the time to heal, you keep walking in that same hole. So I remember being in a situationship, and I could no longer point at the person. I had to point directly at myself, because it wasn't their fault. I had to do the work. I had to do the healing. So again, when things come up and we wonder, why do I respond this way? Or why do I react? Why am I arguing with everyone? Why does this feel uncomfortable when someone tries to touch me, or whatever that trigger may be? Dig in, pray about it, and watch God reveal to you that there's some more work to do. There's some healing, and take the journey, whether you write about it or you reach out to someone, and even pray about it. Again, for me, journaling was actually my healer. As Lisa mentioned, it was therapy. It was for me. I had to journal, and God revealed. The more I journaled, the more I feel like it was the Holy Spirit healing me, talking to me, and giving me direction for how I needed to live. And again, not point the finger, but totally look at myself, go deeper, and thank God for the healing. And it's a journey.
Oh, yes, but that's so powerful, to look at you and your contribution to it. And for everyone, I know circumstances are different, but
Yes.
even with looking at yourself, not to say that you caused the thing that happened to you, but to look at yourself and how you handled your situation. Because I believe that in order to go from trauma and drama to your truth, you have to be able to handle things in a certain manner so that you can go and process everything you went through and then become whole. So for Tarina, I want to ask you, I know that you're a woman of faith. How has your faith helped you in dealing with the trauma and the drama in your life?
How did it help me? Uh, uh, I can't think of nothing right now. Um,
Then that's fine. Share whatever it is you want to share as it pertains to, going through the trauma and drama to get to your truth.
well, first of all, I guess you would really have to recognize it that you do have a trauma, um, and you have to really speak up and try to get the help that you need to get the healing. I know forgiveness is very important. Also, to forgive the person that maybe have harmed you or abused you. So yeah, so forgiveness is very important to become whole.
Mhm.
Um, but also, if you bury it, the trauma, you won't get the healing that you need, and other things will come upon you like sickness and disease or whatever. And yeah, so that's what I wanted to say.
That's good.
Well, I'm glad you did bring that up, Tarina, because Valerie knows I have a group that we just did. It's a 5-day workshop, and we were talking about how empowered women manifest. And so, one of the reasons that keep you from being empowered and manifesting the life that you want is harboring unforgiveness. And a lot of times, when you go through trauma and drama, you
Mhm.
suppress it, and that unforgiveness it sits with you and it kind of festers. And that's what creates a lot of health issues for people, because you haven't had an opportunity to release it and heal so that you can become complete and get to your truth. So I do appreciate you sharing that piece with us, because that is definitely something to think about. So now I want to go over to, and I'm going to come back to you, Lisa, but I want to give, now Ramona has had a chance to come in. Ramona, if you'll come off mute, I would love for you to introduce yourself, tell everyone where you're from, and then tell them how you came to be a part of this project.
Hi, everybody.
Hello.
Okay, hey. Oh my God. My name is Ramona Burchett. I was introduced to this project through Valerie, through Declare Victory. She had reached out to me and asked did I want to be a part of it. And as soon as I heard the title, the cool part about it, you guys, let me tell you, to be honest, I didn't listen to the full thing of what was going on. As soon as I heard you would be a part of Trauma, Drama, the Truth, that's all I heard. And I was like, yes, yes, And I was already on it when I found out more what it was about, when I got on and listened to you guys tell us what it was all about. It was, that's when for me, I felt it was an opportunity to help someone else with my testimony for where I've been. And when the Holy Spirit, even in doing that time, I was like, God, no, oh my God, because from my trauma, where it came from, it consists of family. So I was like, no, I don't, I gotta, cause I was so worried about, you know, um, causing more problems in my family, or bringing up issues, or whatever, you know what I'm saying? Or to be honest, even bringing up issues that still haven't been dealt with. So it was
Right.
just, when you've been through for me, it was a chaotic part of my life. I didn't want to restart. I didn't want to go backwards.
Yeah.
So I was like very hesitant. And then when the Holy Spirit really reveals, like, it's not about them, it's about you. And it's about what I'm doing through you. And it's about what I need you to do. So when I really heard that loud and clear, I understood what I needed to do. And it's just been a real big struggle for me.
Mm-hmm.
I um I could just speak a little bit from my trauma, how it affected me, being where I came from, you guys, as far as being assaulted at violated at a young age. I think that it really violated my way of thinking, far as what I could believe in, my dreams, my accomplishments, of who I could be. I think that was I know that was definitely smothered on me at a young age
Exactly.
of not believing in myself. So I think, throughout my life, it's just been always like, always struggling with that inner enemy telling me what I can't do. And also understanding what I did come into agreement with, of not believing that, believing that I couldn't do it, believing that
Right.
um, I wasn't worthy, I wasn't valuable.
That's
I, I
good.
I did come into agreement with that, but I'm just grateful that, come on now, we serve a good Father,
Yes,
that
we do.
he saw that, he saw me drowning, he saw, and he knew
Mm.
exactly what I needed, and he sent what I needed. You know what I mean? Because
Amen.
I can say on
Amen.
today that I can speak on my on my traumas, and not ball down the wall or ball into tears. And I can look a person in the eye and be like, look, sister, you are valuable. You are beautiful. That was a lie. You can do this. You know what I'm saying? It's
Yes.
just about believing, and it's okay if you don't believe on today, but you can, surround yourself around people of faith that you can, that can hold your arms up, and you can lean off their faith. You know what I mean? It's so much how God worked through me of giving me the strength that I needed
I'm
to.
so glad that you were able to share all of that, Ramona, because I do think it's extremely important for people to understand that when you're going through something, again, you don't have to stay there. And Cynthia Marie always says, you know, you don't have to stay there in terms of your mental status, in terms of believing what someone else says you are or what your life has to look like. And you are able to go from the trauma and drama to your truth. And it is a process. And for a lot of people, it's very hard to overcome. But when you serve a God who is a God that, you know, can do all things, then you know you don't have to stay there. You know that you can trust in him to get you to the other side. And so I'm gonna come back to you, Lisa, because I know that and not giving away any of your story, but sometimes when you are in certain situations, you find yourself kind of on a repetitive cycle, you know, because I know you talked about relationships and how you were one way and then, you know, something happened and then you may go to the next person. So sometimes we seek people that's familiar, not always good for us, but familiar. Can you speak a little bit about that?
Well, I think with the trauma, what happens is it's a familiar place. That toxic existence is very familiar to you. And so it's like you pick up, it's like you unconsciously pick up those traits in the person. And that's from personally, me, I think I would pick up traits from my abuser. There's from my initial abuser, all of the situationships that I got in, even up through my marriage, they had very similar traces to my abuser and the lifestyle and all the things that was going on. So it was very familiar. It was very, very familiar. And I did not realize that's what I was doing until, you know, I wrote it out in the chronological order when I actually had to write this text, and I started writing it out and it started flowing and it was chronological. It was like just plain as day. And I'm like, this is what I've been doing all this time. Okay, it stops today. You know what I mean? So I think it's just like you don't realize it's happening because you're familiar with that. It's familiar to you. It's your comfort zone. You don't know anything else. You've never been treated any other kind of way. So it's normal to you. It's your normal. So that it you don't feel anything different until you start having the until you grow and you get a little older and you start seeing other things right, and it just starts not feeling right, you know, at a point, and you figure it out, you know, at some point, I think somewhere something clicks and lets you know that it's like, okay, something's not right about this, because the lifestyle, the way your life is going, the way you're feeling, your health, like someone said, your health, your mental stability start to be affected, and you're like, something's not right here, you know what I mean? So that's how it was for me. I didn't really, I just kept, like Valerie mentioned, the book that she was reading, kept stepping in the same hole. I kept meeting the same person over and over again in a different package. And I was like, and I didn't realize it. Honestly, I did not realize that's what I was doing. I was like, this is crazy. So, you know, you kind of like chalk it up as to you have a type, right? It's more than, it's deeper than that. It's actually definitely deeper than that.
It is, and it's something that is common to a lot of people. You know, when you are going through life, you wind up being with the same type of person, just a different face, but the same characteristics, the same things. You know, because for whatever reason, that seems to be what you're attracted to, and to break from that dysfunction can really take a long time. And so I think people don't realize the struggle that happens, because again, like you say, the familiarity will keep you going and keep you thinking that it's okay, when in actuality, until you can step back from it, you really don't know that you are caught in that circle. So let me go ahead. I see Miss Dee Dee has came in, so I'm gonna bring her on. Hey Dee Dee, how are you?
Hey, hello. How are you guys?
Fantastic. Welcome.
Hi, I just got off work. I'm sorry.
That's okay.
Thank you.
So listen, introduce yourself and tell them where you're from, and then also share what made you decide to be a part of this book project.
My name is Dee Dee. I'm from Antioch, California. I've been in a few unhealthy relationships, and it took me a while to realize that I needed to do something about it. I am almost 50 years old, and I just kept seeing the red flags and just kept on making the same mistakes. And then on my list of things to do, I had healing on there, but I wasn't doing nothing about it. And it was time. And Valerie had told me about the book, and she shared some things with me, and I just felt that that was an open door, and I just decided to walk on in it.
That's what I'm talking about, Didi. What you say, honey? Opportunities come and you just walk on through. I love that. And let me just come on and say, honey, for those of y'all who are looking and Didi said she was almost 50. Baby, that's what 50 looks like. Looks great. Great.
You are beautiful.
Yes.
You.
So I really am so glad, that all of you ladies are here. And then with Matthew there, Matthew, I don't know. I know you came off camera. Are you still able to speak? Thank
You
you.
know it. I'm here.
Kind of come back to you because I know that you deal a lot with people who have been, traumas and things of that nature. Can you share a little bit about some of the experiences you've had, some of the things that people have shared with you about going through trauma and drama in their lives?
He's on mute.
You're on mute.
So dealing with a lot of women, men, and children that's been through domestic violence and sexual assault, I hear so many different stories, and it's mostly how they grew up, and they're still dealing with it. They don't know how to let that pain go. They don't know how to forgive. They don't know how to start the process to move on, because that pain has such a hold on them that it's taken a life of its own. Like this person is, almost about to not exist because that pain is hurting them so bad. That trauma is hurting them so bad. So what I do is, it all starts with your childhood. We start from there and we work our way up to the current. So if it started at your childhood, you go back and acknowledge and accept what happened. Once you do that, you can start to grow and elevate and move on. And then it goes to your teen years, and you look at all the other things that came on, and if it was still happening, you go on, you accept it. You have to go to these people if they're still living and talk to them, ask those questions, why, so you can start your process to heal. But a lot of people too, once those people are not living, they think, oh well, now I'm stuck being hurt. No, you're not. You can write a forgiveness letter to that person, and you can still move on, and you can still heal and let that pain go, because you have a life to live. You only get one. So don't let none of that hurt and that
Don't do
pain,
it.
that trauma,
Come on now.
that drama take over your life. You got a destiny and a purpose in this life. So let's move on and heal. If you don't know how to do that, there's women and men out here that can help you. We've all been where you are. We've all been hurt. We've all been sick and tired. We've all held on to mess we shouldn't have held on to. 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, and you look back, I done wasted all these years on this foolishness. I've been holding on to this for what? For nothing. It's time to let go. It's time to let go and forgive. It's time to be who you are and be who you meant to be. Let it go.
Yes.
I know it's hard. I know it hurts, but we're going to feel that hole that's in your heart, that's in your soul, with love, peace, and joy. Not only by my words, but God can give it to you. Look at me. I've been through so much hurt, pain, abuse, and all, and I am still standing. And I smile today because every day, what they say, this morning when I rose, I didn't have no doubt. Not at all. All that hurt, that pain that happened to me is gone, because he did it for me. And if he did it for me, he can do it for you. You have to let go. You have to look in the mirror and tell yourself that you can do it. I can help you so far. But it's time for you to believe in yourself. One foot in front of the other and move on. Let go. Give yourself that peace. Don't hold on to it. It's not worth it. If you need help, reach out. There's tons of resources out there for you. You have to just believe and take that step. If you don't, you're standing in your own way of being whole and free. Most people don't know what being free is. I'm telling you, I'm free. I'm happy, I'm whole, and I'm healed.
Amen.
I may cry a lot, but it's tears of joy
Yeah.
because I made it. Most people didn't make it. I get calls every now and again from women, oh, such and such has passed because her husband beat on her. Some of us ain't make it. But why you still here? Forgive and move on because it's not worth it. It's
That's
not.
That's good.
It's really not. I feel like I'm about to cry right now, but I'm telling you, I'm not about to do it. I'm not about to do it because I cried that last tear yesterday. It's gone. I'm healed, happy, and whole, and I believe in me, and I believe in each and every one of you. Reach out and ask somebody, I'm going through this. Can you help me? That's all you got to do. If you don't know how to believe in yourself, take that journey and start believing in yourself, doing those affirmations until you are ready to say, okay, my sister, help me. This is what I'm going through. Show me the way. You did it. You've been through what I've been through. You was here a year ago. You was here 2 years ago. I've been stuck in this for 10 years. Let us show you the way out. Let's walk in the light together because you ain't alone. We are here to help you. Believe in yourself. Stand up, stand tall. Look in the mirror and tell yourself, I can make it. I made it. I believe in me. I am worthy. And can't nobody tear me down. Nobody. Nobody can't take this joy from me.
Preach, Matthew.
Nobody can take this from me.
Come on.
God gave it to me, and He's going to keep on giving it to me. He's giving me every day, every second, breath in my body. I may be sick and tired, but I am healed and whole. And I keep on waking up every day because He's putting me on my list because my work in this life is not done. It's not. And every day that He keeps on putting breath in my body, I'm going to be here to help you. You're not alone because Matthew is here for you. Valerie is here for you. We are all here for you. We've been through this. We're healed and whole. We let this go. We went through it because we can handle it. Now we're going to show you how to let it go. Be whole and healed and happy. Life is only for a moment. You only get one. So let us show you how to be whole, healed, and free. Let that trauma and drama go. Live in your truth.
Yes.
If you are still here today, you got another chance to be free, to walk in your purpose, to walk in your destiny. Let it go. It's not worth it. And I'm a living testimony. I'm breathing right now because my work in this life is not done. It's not. Each and every day of my life, I thank Him. Because I could have been dead and sleeping in my grave right now.
Yes.
But God did it for me and He'll do it for you. You just have to release. And that's the word for this year. It's release. You have to let it go.
Surrender.
It's not worth it.
Surrender.
Believe in yourself and know that you can.
Amen.
Stay strong. Do those affirmations. I am worthy.
We're grateful for it, Matthew. And I'm telling you, when everybody kind of sees now from hearing from each one of you what this book is about, seeing the power of the people who are part of it, of the co-authors and the visionary author, this is the time for you to really tap in because we brought everyone on so that you can kind of get an idea of who is behind the stories that you'll be reading. Please stay tuned because the book will be released this week. So we want to make sure that they get to bestseller particular status. You see what this is about. You hear about the stories from trauma to drama to truth, from trauma and drama to truth. And it is a process. It's about a transformation. And so for the majority of the ladies and that are on here, they are first time authors. Then Matthew has written before, and so has Valerie. And I just want to give a shout out because there is power in your story. So Valerie, what do you want to share with the people about the project itself, and even with your journey from trauma and drama to truth?
Well, first of all, I want to commend everyone on the platform that said yes to the project. Because when God gave me the vision in my head, in my thinking, I was like, oh, it's going to be so many people. But then as it, you and I had conversations, and I was like, well, I don't know who's going to be in the book. But I believe that the people that are in the book were specifically hand chosen by God. So it's not about the numbers. These are the people that were specifically chosen by God. And again, I commend them because it's not easy being transparent about your trauma and your drama and for the whole world to hear and see. So I commend these women, and I thank God for them. I thank God that we are connected, because it is about connecting. It's about collaboration. And there's so much, each and every one of these, I'll say women and men in here have so much to give to this world. We're all predestined. So everyone here, and even the ones viewing, no matter what we've gone through, no matter what you're going through, we were chosen specifically by God to make it through to the other side. So no matter what, it's a faith walk. So even when you ask, and I just have to say this, when you ask Trina the question, your faith is what carried you over. My faith, Lisa's faith, Mona's faith, Moxie Mona's faith.
Yes,
Matthew's faith, Deidre's faith. We are so similar. We have so much that we have in common. And it's such a beautiful thing to come together collectively to share our stories, because again, it's not our stories, but it's for others. We made it through. And I say it again, in the book of James, consider it pure joy when we face trials and tribulations of many kinds, because it develops us. It perseverance. It shapes and molds our character into the image of God, because again, when we go through something, it's an opportunity to get closer to God. So this book, I believe, will bless the masses. It will bless so many people, because we are coming from our heart. And as Lisa said, I don't know if I answered the question, but I'm gonna roll with it. As Lisa said, when she started writing and she wrote things out chronologically, when you start doing that and you realize, oh my gosh, I have been through some stuff, and as a matter of fact, I'm repeating some cycles, this ain't cool. Then you understand, maybe, just maybe, like you said, something's just not right. Just maybe there's some work that needs to be done. And I'm very grateful to be on this journey. I have to say this because I've been knowing Deidre since the 6th grade, Dee. She's my sister, my sister from another mother. And so for us, there have been so many conversations. And for a minute, I was like, are we dating the same people? I'm just being real. So just to be able to have her, to share with her on this journey, to know someone from the 6th grade and to see what God has done in our lives to continue to transform us. Matthew, you said release is so necessary in the year of 2022, because once you release, that is when I feel like you will see that transformation. God will give you revelation for the transformation. We are all predestined. It's not by happenstance that any of us have experienced the things that we have experienced. God specifically chose us. And stitch. We are fearfully and wonderfully made, created in the image of God. There's absolutely nothing that we can't make it through when we call on God, not by our might or our power, but by God's Spirit. So I'm just grateful. I don't know if I answered the question, but
That's fine because this is really the platform I wanted you all to be on here to share and get people excited about what you're doing because soon we'll be releasing the book, and so we want people to hear your heart and understand that behind your story there is a person, and this person has the same feelings, they have the same desires to want to live well and to want to be loved and want to be respected and treated well. And sometimes when you get into traumatic situations, that's not what always happens, but by the
Right.
grace of God you're still here, and by the grace of God you can transition into your truth. So I appreciate you sharing that, Valerie. And Trina, we're getting close up on the hour, so I want each one of you to be able to say some closing remarks. So, what would you like to say to the audience before we close out the broadcast?
Well, I wanted to say thank you for tuning in and hearing our voices and hearing the snippet of our little story we have. We went through trauma, and I pray that I pray that everything will go well with you, and that just want to say Jesus loved you, and so do I.
Amen. Amen. Thank you so much for sharing. And then, Lisa, if you would like to share anything with the audience, you're on mute, Lisa.
All right. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay. In general, I like to share in dealing, and I know a lot of people in the world have experienced trauma and they really don't know what to do with it. A lot of people will do external work in dealing with trauma, thinking that is the way to heal. They'll go out and get degrees and get education and make a lot of money and things like that. But really dealing with trauma, it's an internal thing. It's internal work that has to be done. So anybody out there that's listening to this that has experienced trauma and is still going through that and still having the effects of those trauma, the secret is to start the internal work. It's going to be the internal work that's going to get you through and that's going to heal you. You can buy all the Louis Vuitton purses and red bottom shoes and fancy cars and houses and clothes and make a lot of money and all of that, but you will not be healed until you do the internal work. So that's just my message to the other folks in the audience that have trauma and that they haven't started working on it yet.
That's good. That's so good. That's so good. Do the internal work because it has to be done. I mean, there's no way around it. I mean, you can sugarcoat it and you can be, surface driven and people think that everything is okay, but underneath it's like boiling water. You may think that it's not hot because you don't see it boiling, but you put your hand in there and trust that it's hot. So
Right.
you got to do that inner work so that you can um, get to your truth. And
Yeah.
so I thank you so much for sharing that. Ramona, what would you like to share with the audience before we close the broadcast out?
Oh wow. For me, you guys, the audience, I want you to know, like far as the trauma, that you have went through as a young child, knowing that the enemy came to rob, kill, and steal you, remember that. He tried it to rob, kill, and steal you of your identity of who he knew you, he knew, he saw, he know who you was, that you were special, that you can move on from it, that you don't have to live there in the consumption of that of that violation. You know what I mean? That God really, really wants us to be healed and set free. And he also wants us to do so by doing, going through the process with forgiveness and in forgiving ourselves and forgiving the person who harmed us, so we can move on and we can be able to um, love the way he equipped us to. He equipped us to love in such a way, you guys, that I feel that proceeds in looking at people and what they have done. And I'm so grateful that he have opened my eyes to see people as as he do in ways of love, and see as what they done is ways of the spirit, in the spirit realm, where I won't be trying, because I have no hell to put them in, where I can't judge no one. So, I never would have thought I would able to speak that way about my accuser, of what he have done to me and what he have done to the people that I have loved. So, just for me just to even feel that way on today and know where I came from, because I know I was full of hate. I wanted him dead. I wanted him, to pay, but our Father wanted him to be redeemed. And I'm so glad that he brought me to understand that. So I just pray that we, just continue to pray for one another, and to look in the spirit. I don't know why I keep thinking of that, but to look at each other more in the spirit, not in the natural.
Amen. Thank you so much. I
Yes,
see. I
yes,
I put it back on so while you
yes.
were talking, when I got to see it, but looks like Jamie Hampton said, "TT Mona, say that."
Oh, that's my niece. Hi, baby.
Yes, honey. We should say, honey. I need you to say you did that. Matthew, do
Thank
you have anything you want to
you.
say? Briefly, I think you're on your mute still.
Y'all let it go. Release. Life is only for a moment.
Yes.
Yes, come on, Matthew. So, release is the word as you're talking about from trauma to drama and truth. Release. You have to release to get there. You have to operate in forgiveness, because at the end of the day, when you suppress the things that have traumatized you, when you've pushed it so far down that you think you've forgotten it until a trigger happens and then you lose it, that happens because you haven't taken the time to really invest, to really forgive, and to really get to your truth so that you can live a positive, happy, healthy, healed, whole life. And so I want to tell you guys, this project, this anthology with these amazing people, and it looks like Dee Dee, I don't know if she had to leave or had technical difficulties, but with her included, have put together their stories, have showed up for themselves. So I just want to, honey, y'all give yourself a hand clap of a round of applause,
Yes.
because it's not easy
No, it's
being
not.
transparent. It's
And you
not
guys, we
easy
got we got to
sharing.
remember that our trauma is our triumph. I look at it,
Amen.
we are not no victim. We are not no victim.
We are
So
victorious.
yes. So I pray that
Victorious.
when you guys read our stories, that you hear the triumph, not the victim. God be
Oh, I
praised.
love that. Somebody better put that in. They say it one more time,
God be praised.
Ramona. You're trying. What is it?
I said, I
You're
hope you
trying.
guys hear our triumph, not our trauma. You know what I'm saying? Hear the triumph.
Trying.
To God be the
Yes.
glory.
I love that. I love that. So somebody
Yeah.
remember that. I'm telling you, y'all have put some good nuggets out there for people who have experienced things. At the end of the day, bottom line, point blank, period, there's not anybody who hasn't experienced something that they
Yes.
are not happy about, or that they may still be ashamed of, or that they may still be dealing with. But to
Mhm.
see all of you beautiful people on the screen and know that even in the midst of, you can still get to the other side. You
Yes.
can still come on, Mia. She said, "My see my triumph, not my trauma." Oh, I love
That's my
that.
daughter, y'all.
Come
That's
on,
my
Oh,
first.
Mia. Yay.
yay.
That's my
You
baby.
guys
Yay.
be
My
proud
baby.
of people on here. She said, yes, also amazing. Be proud. This book will come out this week. Make sure you support them, because I'm telling you, they poured their heart and soul into sharing stories of being transparent about what they went through. And everybody's not able, just as I said, everybody may go through trauma and drama, but not everybody is able to share their story. And when somebody can come together, put pen to paper, and put it out there for the world to
Yes.
see, that's on a whole different level. So again, congratulations.
Yes.
I wish you all much success with this book. I want y'all to know that just because you wrote the book, don't stop there. There's so
Right.
many more things that you can do with telling your story. Now you are considered a subject matter expert. Now doors of opportunity can open for you, where you can speak about this platform, where you can go and coach people about this platform, where you can show up and do some things that's going to help others heal because of this platform. So don't take it lightly, but don't leave it here. Let this be the beginning and open doors to so many more things, because I believe that if God brought you to it, he'll take you through it to even more amazing things. So you guys be blessed. Before I leave, Valerie, will you let people know, is there a way they can get in contact with you if they should want to follow back up with you with
Yes.
regard to the book?
Yes. You can follow me on Facebook at Valerie C. Thompson. I am on Instagram at Valerie C. Thompson, or you can email me at ownyourtruth@gmail.com. And you can check me out on my website at www.valeriecthompson.
Come on, visionary author.
Yes, come on. Let's go.
Come
See how that flowed
on.
off that time? It was
Didn't
like,
it roll off? All right, Tarina, how can they get in contact with you?
I'm on Facebook under Trina Jackson, and I also have a ministry page, The Healing the Brokenhearted. You can also email me at TrinaJ@yahoo.com.
Awesome. Miss Lisa?
You can find me on Facebook. My handle is Lisa Trinell. My email is lisajagent@gmail.com.
All right. And Miss Ramona?
Yes. Okay. You can also on Facebook, I'm Ramona Burchett. My email is ramonaburchett@gmail.com. And as far as the ministry goes, we also on the Facebook is called Goody Goody God Drop. It's a street feeding ministry. We go out and feed the homeless every Monday. The 10 cities here in Lower Bottom, West Oakland, in the Oakland area. So it's called Goody Goody God Drop.
That's beautiful. Come on, Ramona, you out there doing ministry. That's good.
Baby, don't get me started. I also got my own business, Malik's Kitchen. That is relaunching soon, you guys. So look out for that.
Look out for that. Yes, honey, plug that business, girl.
You saw me? Did you catch it?
Listen, that's what being visibility is all about, taking advantage of opportunities to position yourself. So with that being said, Miss Trinell, did you have something else you want to add about what you do, Bam?
Well, yes, I'm actually a licensed real estate broker here in the San Francisco Bay Area, and I am an investor as well. I didn't know we were doing that here, but
yes,
we're doing that here.
We're doing everything. Listen, everything you want.
But moreover, I've started a nonprofit, and it's called the Passion Project. And my nonprofit will be assisting specifically women of color that have experienced trauma, childhood trauma, and drama in their lives, with getting resources, with buying a home, renting a home. We'll be assisting with deposits, down payment assistance. We'll also have an education fund for any woman that has maybe dropped out of high school because of trauma, or whatever their life path has taken them, where they couldn't finish school and couldn't get to the next level. So we're going to have an educational fund for that.
That's so cool.
That's the path that I went. So I'm looking for folks that have had a similar journey. I am a real estate broker and an investor, but 3 years before I got my real estate license and brought my first property, I was actually homeless, living in the Richmond Rescue Mission with my 4 kids. Wow. And 3 years later, I was 25 years old. And by the time I was 28 years old, I was buying my first property. And shortly after that, I got a real estate license and got into the business of real estate. Yes. So I know, and I'm a high school dropout. So there's a lot. So I want to have a fund available for folks that couldn't go to college. They dropped out of high school. They have some challenges, and we're going to pay for them to get into the trades. We'll be paying for them to go to real estate school, to be a mortgage broker, appraiser, licensed contractor, pest inspector, any of the fields that's in relation to the real estate field. Because I happen to know from firsthand experience and from my circle that you can get into this field and within the next 12 months, 6 to 12 months, be earning a 6-figure income. I did it myself. I went from being homeless on the street at 25 to being a homeowner at age 28. and then from there being a successful investor. So that's kind of what I'm working on. It's still in the infancy stages. But anyway, if you want to contact me and have more information about donating, or you have some folks that need some assistance, I'm on Facebook and my handle is Lisa Tranell. And then from there, I can connect you with the project that I have in the works. So we just got our nonprofit status. We're having Valerie. I've invited Valerie to be part of my visionary team. We do have some investors that's going to be donating and helping us out. So it's still in the infancy stages, but we do have some resources to assist.
That is so
some
cool.
folks.
Look at all that truth right there.
What?
Listen, and you gonna sit yourself down there and one gonna let us know about that.
Well, I didn't know we were doing that here.
Listen, it's wide open. Anytime you get an opportunity, sing like a mockingbird, baby. Sing like a mockingbird.
Look, and Angela is the visibility coach, so
I guess so. I'm gonna need some help with that. Y'all know I'm shy on the camera. I'll be scared on the camera.
Listen, we're gonna get all that out there. But listen,
Okay.
somebody, Jamie wanted to know, Lisa, if you can repeat your email address, please.
Lisa J Agent at gmail.com.
So LISAJAGENT at gmail.com.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Yes.
Perfect. Listen, Lisa is making some big moves out there, and the inspiration behind being homeless or being not, graduating high school, all of those things to where you are now is inspiration for somebody, because I'm telling you,
to me, what do you say? To me.
Thank you for everybody.
That's why this was very therapeutic for me, because in part of the Passion Project, and that's the name of my nonprofit, it's called the Passion Project, because a part of that, this therapy, doing this book, led me to starting this nonprofit, because I was like, okay, now I know what to do. It actually helped me find my purpose. It actually helped me find what my purpose is. What I'm supposed to do with all that trauma and knowledge and everything that I learned from writing this. And I'm like, this is what I'm supposed to do with this. And there's somebody else that, they've been through all this and they just don't know which way to go. They feel like because they experienced this trauma, they dropped out of high school, they did this, that they can't go on to the next level. But I'm a living, walking, breathing testimony that is actually not true at all. So
walk that testimony like a billboard.
All this writing came about, it created this whole infrastructure. So I have big plans for it.
That is beautiful.
And that was God.
God got big plans for it.
And it took her to the end of the broadcast to warm up. Nancy.
Look, she's on a roll now. We can't stop her.
I started it now.
She's on a roll now.
That is absolutely beautiful. And Lisa, let me ask you this. So for the assistance that you are providing, is that solely for the California area, or can other people take advantage of that?
For right now, it's going to be California until we get, funding to go further. But I mean, I hadn't thought about it on a global level. I really only thought
it's going to be global. Listen,
but it probably could happen. I guess I hadn't thought about it.
It's going to happen.
It's going to happen.
Jeremiah 29:11. For I know the plans that I have for you, declares the Lord. Plans to prosper for you. Plans not to harm you. Plans to give you hope for a future. Oh, it's already done.
Yeah, I mean, it could be. I mean,
Jamie said you're a walking testimony, honey. A walking testimony. That means that it needs to be global, because somebody is out there who needs to hear that it is possible. See, sometimes God allows things to come together in order for bigger things to happen. You came through for a chapter in a book, and now it has birthed a passion project that will help people, millions of people, change the trajectory of their lives and their families' lives, and that's legacy. Legacy is global. Legacy, honey, can't be stopped. Legacy may seem like it's quiet, but legacy is going to be able to come out and shout it from the rooftops. Okay, so
it's bigger than I realized that me getting into real estate is like it's bigger than that. You know, this is bigger than what this is. It's way bigger than that. It's not even about that anymore. You know what I mean? Like that's why I didn't say anything about the real estate thing, because I'm there. You know, that's how I eat and everything. But I'm like, I'm on a bigger plane now. I'm like, no, I want to do this because I can really make a difference in some people's lives. You know, because I have this information. You know, so it's not about the dollars and cents per se in that matter anymore. You know, so. I'm excited about the project. Yeah, I'm really excited about the project.
We're glad we got to hear about it. Thank you.
Okay, well, thank you for asking.
Well, Ramona, come on. Ramona put it out there. So listen, we want to make sure everybody. Now, Trina, was there anything else that you want to share about what you do?
I guess so. Yes, I want to.
Yes, come on, Trina. Come on.
For me, it's inner healing and deliverance. So that's where else I'm an evangelist. So I go out to the community, and I also feed the homeless too, and also so that's my heart. It's inner healing and deliverance.
Yeah.
So and I'm going to training for that too, for counseling, to be a counselor, so I can counsel individuals one-on-one, or in a group, or in the Zoom call like we're doing now. So in order to set people free. So cool. Yeah.
Amen.
Looks like a worldwide healing ministry going on right here.
Trina can get him healed up. Ramona can feed him. And Lisa can put him in a house and validate.
Come on, let's go.
Yes, exactly. Perfect. Exactly.
A one-stop shop.
Right.
Yes, I'm so excited. Look, and y'all see, for the audience, y'all see it took them an hour to get it together. And now, we get all the juice, so it's okay. Fast forward to the end, y'all. Fast forward to the end.
Yes.
Matthew Santana Jr., I know that you do a plethora of things, but if you would like to share what you do, you can do it as well. You on mute.
Let me share all of that. I'll be brief.
Your lips moving. We can't hear you.
I will be brief. Can you hear me?
Barely. Barely.
Can anybody hear me?
We can hear you a little bit.
Okay, so if you are going through any trauma, drama, or domestic violence or sexual assault, you can go to www.infinitepowerproject.com. Can anybody hear me?
InfinitePowerProject.com. If you're going through any trauma or drama situations.
If you need anybody for a social media management, graphics, websites, things like that, Timeless Vision Productions, marketing and advertising business solution. If you need a photographer, videographer, a wedding, funeral, party, whatever, expressions in time, photography and videography. If you need a life coach. If you want somebody to
Ramona laughing. So listen, y'all really can't hear what Matthew says, but basically what he's saying is whatever you need, holler at him, and
that's why I got the energy. I got that energy.
You need a picture taken. You need a flyer done. You need a videographer. You need somebody to show up and collect your county shoulder. If you need somebody to talk to, if you need somebody to put you on,
come on,
reach out to Matthew. He's your guy. Absolutely.
Got you, Matthew.
Listen, I was hoping Dee could come back on.
She tried. She couldn't.
She was fine. She was. Yeah. So hopefully we'll get a chance to do it again. But this has been amazing. I have really enjoyed it with you ladies. So, and Matthew, so you guys make sure you all, Yvette came on and said congrats. Yes. Leah laughed. She said, brother, do it.
Yvette.
Matthew, they said, brother, do it all. That should be your name from now on. Well, listen, your folks is funny, baby. They is. Listen, I'm glad they was on here. Thank you.
Oh God.
So listen, y'all, again, make sure you support this project from trauma and drama to truth. It will be
Please
releasing
support you
this
guys.
weekend, and I want y'all to support it, help them get to #1 bestseller. Each one
Yes.
of the ladies and gentlemen will be able to put the information on their pages, follow them on social media, so you know how to get that and make it happen. But share this out and connect with everybody on the platform, because you see they are doing things. They're not just trying to hit your pockets, but they want to help you heal your soul, get
Yes.
yourself to the next level. You know, they're operating in multiple different gifts. So we want to make sure that we stay in contact with them, because these are people you need to know who are out here being movers and shakers and making things happen. So again, best of luck to each one of you. We wish you all the success in everything that you do. So you guys take care and be blessed. And we're going to end it here. Okay.
Thank
Okay.
All right,
you.
Bye,
thank
you
you.
guys.
Love you
Yeah.
all. Have a great
Love you
night.
guys.
Bye.